Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Economic Zone by Diksha Ahuja by your economics teacher Diksha Ahuja. So in this video, I'm gonna explain the model of economy's equilibrium given by John Maynard Keynes, that is ADS approach and saving investment approach to determine the economy's national income, employment and output. Right? In the previous video, I told you about the full employment. I told you about the autonomous investment, that we are assuming that the investment will be autonomous. I told you about the derivation of saving from consumption curve, saving curve in the previous videos. So we need to compile our concepts till now and we need to apply here for this model, and this is very important for equilibrium that says aggregate demand, aggregate supply model. The economy will be in equilibrium when the aggregate demand of the economy, that means the demand of all the sectors of the economy, is equal to the planned supply, planned output of the economy by all the producers at a given point of time. So first of all, before starting any approach, ADS approach or saving investment approach, I need to tell you a few assumptions which we are taking before starting this model. First assumption, you all know that in this chapter, in this unit, we are understanding all things by two-sector economy. That means aggregate demand is equals to C plus I. There is no government sector, there is no foreign sector, there are only two sectors, households and firms consuming and investing. Aggregate demand has two components only, AD is equals to C plus I. Secondly, we are assuming that the equilibrium is for short run only. As given by John Maynard Keynes, he didn't study for the long time period, he studied for the short run. So this model is for short run, the equilibrium output is for short run. Then the general price levels are fixed in the economy. We are not saying the general price level inflation is increasing or decreasing. So this is constant and given. And last, we studied in the last video, investment is autonomous. That means investment do not change with the level of income. So let's start with our model with a diagram, then we'll do with the schedule, and then we will understand the disequilibrium cases. So let's start. So for equilibrium, we want AD is equals to AS, and we know that aggregate demand is equals to C plus I. And we know investment is autonomous, will be horizontal line. How the consumption curve look like? Starting from positive axis A and initiating further, right? And how the AS curve looks like? AS is nothing but income, right? So you can say AD is nothing but C plus I and AS is nothing but Y. So here we can say for equilibrium we want C plus I is equals to Y. So consumption plus investment should be equal to national income. So let's understand. Firstly, we'll make the income line. We all know that income line is 45-degree line. That is AS is equals to Y. Very simple, right? Aggregate supply was so simple. We just made a 45-degree line that says that all those points where aggregate supply is equals to income level, the income line is also known as 45-degree line. So now we want AD also, because when these two will intersect, when the aggregate demand and aggregate supply will intersect, the economy will be in equilibrium. So just see, AD has two components, C plus I. So let's make C first of all, or let's make I first of all. Let's make I. I is like horizontal line parallel to x-axis. So I bar, right? So this is my I, a horizontal line parallel to x-axis. And what is C? C is something like this. Starting from somewhere here, starting from A point, right? Starting from A point and going upwards. Just have a look. You know the function? C is equals to A plus BY, right? But we want to compile these two. Understand it carefully. We want to compile consumption and investment, right? We need to compile C plus I. So what we'll do is, just see it carefully. We'll pick up I from here, the gap. The gap I'll pick up and I'll add in C, right? The gap I'll pick up and I will add in C. So pick this up, I bar, and add in C this much. I made a dotted line because there are so many lines, so you will get confused. So this is my AD line, which is C plus I. What I have done? Have you understood? What I have done is C component mein I have added I bar. I have added I bar. Can you tell me which is the equilibrium point where the dotted line AD is intersecting the main line AS? So can you search, is this the equilibrium? No, here to C and AS is intersecting, no. Right, which is the equilibrium when AD and AS are intersecting, that is here at point E. We are labeling it at point E. The economy will be in equilibrium at point E where AD is equals to AS. So let's take it down. It can be Q star, Y star, anything you can label. Right, Y star, Q star. Quantity or output, you can say income. Okay, Y star. So this is the economy's level of output, income and employment at Y star where aggregate demand and aggregate supply is equal. So now let's look the same ADS approach with a schedule. So now let's understand the same aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach by understanding through a diagram again and the schedule. Right, so let's understand. See, have a look. Again I have come up, but I have made this diagram simpler now. Like we know that aggregate demand is something like consumption because we have added investment in that. So in simpler version, AD and AS looks like this. AS is a 45-degree line and AD is something C plus I. We add up C and I, we got aggregate demand as a upward sloping starting from point A plus I bar. Right, having two components here. Right, we can denote it capital A, right, A, small a plus I bar. So let's first understand from the schedule first of all. So I have given you two things, consumption and investment, and this model. We need to get where the economy will reach the equilibrium. Just have a look. So consumption is given to be, if income will be 0, consumption will be 40. If income will be 100, consumption will be 100. Right? When income will be 200, so 120 plus 40, 160. So when it will be 300, so 180 plus 220. Then 400, put the value. What I'm doing is I'm putting this income values in this consumption function. So put 400, it will be 280. Right? After that, put 500, it will be 340. So these are the consumption. Subtract income minus consumption, you will get savings. So minus 40, 0, 40, 80, 120, 160. Right, these are savings. Investment is given to be 40 only, all over, because we know it is autonomous. Right, it is autonomous. And how to get AD? We know AD is C plus I. So add up C and I. C and I. Add up that to get aggregate demand. 40 plus 40, 80. 100 plus 40, 140. Then 200. Then 260. Then 20. And 340 plus 40, 380. And we know AS is nothing but Y. And income is nothing but C plus S. When you add C plus S, it will come same 0, 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. So let's check where the economy will reach the equilibrium, where aggregate demand is equals to aggregate supply. Here AD is more, AD is more. This is the equilibrium because here aggregate demand is equals to aggregate supply. So at which income level the economy is in equilibrium? At 200 income level, because at this point AD is equals to AS and savings is also equals to investment, that we will understand in the next approach. So at 200 level of income, the economy reaches equilibrium, where AD and AS both are 200. Okay, so can you tell me which is the break-even point? This is the break-even point, 100, where C is equals to Y. So now lastly, let's understand the cases of disequilibrium. Disequilibrium cases explains the two cases. Either the AD is more than AS or AS is more than AD. Just have a look to the right hand side of the diagram. On the right side, which is more? Just give a look to the diagram. Let's say we are here at Y1. So here, which is more? Aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand. So in this case, can you say we are in case 2 where aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand? On the other hand, if we are on the left hand side, here aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply. Now the question arises, how the economy will react to these two situations to reach the equilibrium again. This is for sure that the economy will not be in disequilibrium, right? It will always reach equilibrium. So just let's thought about E by 2 when AD is more than AS. That means all the consumers, all the sectors are planning to consume more than what the producers are planning to sell. जितना सारे लोग डिमांड करना चाहते हैं, all the sectors is more than what the sellers are planning to sell. So AD is more than AS, right? So in this case, how the producers will react? There will be unplanned decrease in inventories. Stock खत्म होने लगेगा because aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply. How the producers will react to this? By increasing production. The producers will react to this by increasing production in the economy. On the other hand, in the case when aggregate demand is less and aggregate supply is more, so in this case we can say the output is too high. Supply is high, that means all the producers are planning to sell more than what all the sectors are planning to consume. So in this case there will be unplanned increase in inventories, better price stock बढ़ जाएगा. How the producers will react? Producers will react to this by decreasing production in the economy. So I hope both the cases of disequilibriums are clear to you. When demand is more than supply, then we will increase the production. When aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand, we will decrease the production to reach the Y star, the equilibrium level of income. This is AD's approach. In the next video, I will come up with saving investment approach and the questions of this equilibrium cases in the next video. Till then, bye bye.